How often do you enter the Facebook Ads Manager and you just see this? No results found, no campaigns, no ads, no nothing. I know that it can be confusing, but today we're going to set up a campaign from zero for a small business that is offering a service. You're going to see every little detail because I've created also a step-by-step guide, which is this one. And I'll also be sharing it with you after the video. You can actually find it even right now in the description, but I advise you to first look over the video so you can see how we do it together, and then you can also try it on your own. It basically has a step for everything, from entering the Facebook Ads Manager, to setting up your pixel, to setting up your marketing funnel, to the first campaigns, and then also how to test, analyze, and optimize each of your ads. Before we actually even begin, before we do any kinds of steps inside of the Facebook Ads Manager, we have a few requirements that we need to look over. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. Yeah. So the first one is to know your ideal customer profile. You need to know each detail and everything there is to know about the person who is most likely to buy from you. You'll be using that in your creatives, you'll be using that in your copy, you'll be using that in every setup and every setting inside the ads. So make sure you know everything about them. The next point is to be ready to spend at least $500 a month. This is the minimum amount that we always suggest to our clients. Why? Well, because there is competition, and also if it's a lower amount, then there is a chance that you might lose motivation that ads are not working. Let's say that you set a budget of $100 a month. That is pretty low. You have to stretch out the budget really thin along the days, but let's say that it's $100. In 2 or 3 months, you might not see any kind of results. Or you might see your first lead coming on the second month, let's say. If that's the case, you just lose motivation. You just say that Facebook ads are not working and they're not for your business, and you just quit. So that's why at least $500 a month if you're doing Facebook ads. Now you should also have a Facebook page created, preferably an Instagram too. This is all because you're going to use both platforms when you're doing advertisement. Now, if you believe that Facebook only is enough, that's okay. You can only advertise there. Or if you think that Instagram is your place, along the settings of the Facebook Ads Manager, you can also pick to advertise only on Instagram. And then also you should be ready to handle all those leads that are coming in hot. I will be doing a small business example with a service business. It will not be an e-commerce business. I'll probably do another video which will be with e-commerce, but for now we're going to be doing leads. So you need to make sure that you're able to handle those leads, because if someone shows interest in your service and you're not able to handle their inquiry, then that's pretty much a useless Facebook campaign. So let's start. The first step that we have is to sign into the adsmanager.facebook.com. It is this one here. Make sure that before you even sign in here, you have a business manager account so that you can have all the options available. Then we have to set up the MetaPixel on our website. We go here, and then from here we go to All Tools, we go to Events Manager, and here you will get this Connect Data. If you have already had a pixel before, if you have already set up something before, then you won't have this window. You will have a different one which shows the pixels that you have already created. But what you can do is just come here, click on Connect Data Sources, and it's basically the same thing. Connect Data, it pops up the same window. So what you need to do here is to click on Web, click on Connect, you just name it. It's called a data set right now, it's not even a pixel anymore. So you name it, and then you follow each step that is for the setup. Usually, for most website builders, there is a guide that you can follow, and it's pretty easy. You just select the website builder. Let's say you're doing Wix or Squarespace or WordPress, so you just follow all the steps that are inside Facebook. If your website builder that you have been using is not part of the ones that have a guide here, then you can just do it manually. The idea of the MetaPixel and setting it up on your website is to just copy a code and paste it inside your website. We won't be doing that here, but if you have any questions about the pixel, just shoot them in the comments below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. Then let's go back to our guide. Here inside the guide you have all the options that I'm mentioning right now, any kind of little details, also an FAQ, so you can check that out after the video. And now we have to create our custom audiences. So we come here and we go to all tools, we go to audiences. And from here you have the option to create a custom audience, a lookalike audience and a saved audience. So what you need to do is create a custom audience. You click on website, you click on next, for example. But now since I don't have a pixel already set up on the website, then you should just ask me to create a pixel. So I'll just open up a different ads manager that already has a pixel, this one here. So when you click on create a custom audience, you create your different audiences and they will appear here like this. You see all of them. And the most important ones that you should create right now should be, first of all, the website one, and it should be the website visitors. Or if you want to run a campaign to a specific page inside of your website, then you can also do people who visit a specific web pages, and you can just put the URL here. Another one that is important for now would be the Facebook page one. And here you can put everyone who engage with your page, people who like or follow the page, or people who engage with any post or ad. All of these could be added as different custom audiences. And you can also do specific Instagram account ones, or you can do video ones. These ones actually are very important, the video ones, because here you can pick people who have viewed a percentage of your video. And this is actually very important for the strategy, for the example strategy that I will show you in a bit, because you can pretty much see who is interested in your video based on the percentages that they have viewed. If your video is 30 seconds long and you have selected this option, 50% of your video, that means that someone has watched 15 seconds of your video. And you know that they have interest in your service and whatever you're showing if they have watched 50%. Especially nowadays, when people are just scrolling mindlessly through Facebook and Instagram, if someone spends that much time on your video, then probably they have some kind of an interest in what you're offering and what you're showing in the video. So these are some of the most important audiences that you need to create. So make sure you create them, and only then we can continue with the next steps. So we go back here, you see here all the different settings that you need to be aware of, also the important custom audiences that I just mentioned. And here you see also a screenshot of where these are in the Facebook Ads Manager. So what is the next step? We go to the big marketing funnel. Now I have a different video about marketing funnels. I'll make sure to link it also in this video so you can check it out if you don't know what a marketing funnel is. I'll try to summarize it here just so we can continue with the video, but make sure you also watch the other video as well. So the first step here is to build awareness and authority. This is your top of funnel. This is the TOF, or the tofu, as some people are calling it. Now here what you're doing is making sure that people know about your brand and they also know that you know your stuff. Then the next one is to engage with people, to share testimonials and to address objections. You could do that with Q&A posts. Testimonials could be via an image, or they could be a video with your clients or your past clients, and also addressing objections. You probably know what are the most common objections in your business, so make sure to add that as an ad as well. And then finally the sales and retention one, and this is in our case, in our small service business case. This is a leads generation campaign. Now I'm going to show you an example strategy that we have followed before for one of our clients, but of course you can also follow different kinds of strategies. There are many out there on YouTube. I'm not saying that this is the best one, I'm just saying that we have done it before and you can take a look at it as an example. So the first week of your Facebook ads, we're going to create an awareness campaign. I know many people are not saying to use any kind of other campaign rather than sales and lead gen, but we have tried this one and it worked. So create an awareness campaign. How do we do that? Well, we go here inside the Facebook Ads Manager. We go back to the Ads Manager, go to campaigns, we click on create ad, and here we have the awareness option, continue. Make sure you name the campaigns in a way that you can understand them. So usually what we do is we put DV as the initials of our agency, and then we put awareness, and maybe you can also put when is it going to start, that's an option, or maybe something else. That make sure that you have some kind of a naming convention that you understand. There are many different ways on how you do it, but just pick one that is best for you and make sure you set it up. So we go here, categories. If your business is for any of these four, make sure you select it, and then also the setup would change, so be aware of that. A/B test, I usually put that as off, and advantage campaign budget, usually I put it as off. There are some times where you can also do that. We'll talk about them in a different video. So we click on next, and we get to our ad set. Let's see our guide here. So create an awareness campaign, done. Now we need to create 3 different ad sets. So we have the first one here. You can name it based on the targeting that you do, and we'll reach that right now, and I'll talk about it. So the targeting is a topic that has been changing a lot over the last few years, I would say, in Facebook ads, because what's happening right now is that the targeting is happening more and more broad. The Meta AI is doing a better job at targeting people and finding the right people for your ads than you could do by specific targeting. And in any case, it's still good for you to make a test to make sure that the Meta AI is really doing a great job. So what I usually advise is first to have one ad set to be extremely wide. So this one would be Advantage Plus wide. And I'll talk about Advantage Plus in a bit. So we have this one here, Performance Go. It's to maximize the reach of ads. The Facebook page that you need to select. Dynamic Creative is an option that I'm going to keep off for now. We might talk about it in a different video, but you don't need it for this example strategy. Then we have the budget. This is also extremely important. I'll talk about an example budget structure in a bit, but let's say for now it would be €2 per day. It needs to be a small amount. You don't need to spend that much money, especially on the awareness campaign, so keep that in mind. You can put the start date. You can also put an end date, but it doesn't make sense if you're going to keep running ads. You can do budget scheduling as well. It's a nice option if you really know when would you like to be spending most of your money, but especially in the beginning, I don't think that you will know that, so I'll keep that off. And now we have the audience controls, which are the most important part of the ad sets, I would say. First of all, we need to pick the location. So let's say we pick the UK. We pick the whole the UK, and you also see here the more option. Make sure you change the minimum age if you want to do that, because maybe your service is not for someone who would use it in their 20s, maybe it's for 30 plus. You could also exclude some custom audiences, but this is, I would say, a more intermediate option, so let's not discuss that right now. And now we have the Advantage Plus audience. So here you can see that it's telling you that it will automatically find your audience. And as I said, this is the most wide audience that you can put. The next ad set that we're going to have would be to have audience suggestions. What audience suggestions means is that you give them some suggestions on what they should be targeting, what you think would be the best targeting. They'll try to target that, but if it doesn't work, they'll just target other kinds of audience that they know would work. And by that, I mean Meta. So you can put a custom audience here. You can change the age again. You can change up the gender, or you can also give them detailed targeting. So you see it says here, include people who match. So it will try to target these people, but again, if they are not responding to your ad, it will find a better audience. So let's say in our case, we might be running a solar panel installation business. I love that example because we've also worked with such businesses. And maybe here we can put renewable energy. As far as I remember, this was one of, so renewable energy, energy and utilities. So this is one option, but as I said, for the first campaign or for the first ad set, you would keep it as wide as possible. No detailed targeting, no custom audiences, as wide as possible. And the placements here, as I said, if you want to put your ad only on one of the platforms, you would click on manual placement and you would select the platforms that you would like. If you want only Instagram, do that. If you want only Facebook, do that. But I usually keep it on Advantage Plus placements. So let's go back to our setup guide and make sure we are on point. So keep a wide audience targeting, Advantage Plus on, and add one ad per ad set. So we'll do that right now. We have this one here, and to easily duplicate it, what you can do is just click on duplicate. You create 2 copies. And so here we have the first one. So this one would be specific, or actually suggestions, because we are going to give suggestions. And this one would be the specific one, and I'll talk about it right now. So the suggestions, I already told you, you come here, you go to the Advantage Plus audience, you click on audience suggestion, and you just give some suggestions. It's really based on your business, but give a couple that you think would be the right ones. And then the specific one is a bit different. So the specific, or you can also name it original, is this option here. On the Advantage Plus audience section, you have switch to original audience options. You need to click on this. It will give you this pop-up because it's telling you that it's going to be a lower cost per result, etc. But until we have this option, I'm going to continue using it and testing out if it's still working. So you need to click on this, you need to click on use original audience, and actually this will bring up the old panel or the old section about audience targeting. If you have done any Facebook ads before, you will know that this is the one that was before. So here what you need to do is to create a new audience. You can also pick one of your custom audiences. You pick the location, the age, the genders, you pick the exact detail targeting. So again, here you are going to put the detail targeting, but now it's going to be targeting specifically those people. It's not going to go outside of what you put here as a targeting option. So we go over this, the placements, and let's say on the detail targeting we put renewable, but we also put homeowners because we want to be targeting them, so we can sell them some solar panels. Let's see how it is. Home improvement, home and garden. Which one can we pick? Let's pick home improvement for now because solar panels are part of home improvement. Alright, and now we can go into the ads that we have. Now that we have these 3 different ad sets, we can go to the ads. We pick the Facebook page, we pick the Instagram account, then we click on create ad, or we can also use an existing post. If you believe that you can use one of the previous posts that you have done, then you can do that as well, that's not a problem. And here you have the option of image or video, carousel or collection. In this specific example, I'm going to be using images or videos, multi-advertiser ads, add creative, and here you can add the image or the video. Now, I have put here that you should prioritize videos, just because right now on the Facebook ads, on the Facebook platform, videos are a lot more viral and the platforms themselves are pushing videos a lot more. These videos can be ones of your service, or if you're doing your service, and since you're building awareness and authority, it needs to be ones that are showing how good you are at your business. You can create these videos or those images if you prefer an image. You can use Canva, that's the best option that there is out there, and it's one of the cheapest ones. I really suggest that you get the premium one, which is really not that costly, I would say. There are also other options. You can use CapCut for videos, you can use Adobe Photoshop for the images, but that's entirely up to you. Canva is like the easiest one, and it doesn't really require that much knowledge in the design space. And it also has lots of templates. You can use many different templates, but as I have already said in previous videos, any kind of template that you use, make sure you edit it as much as possible. Don't just pick one template and just add that as an ad. That's really not okay, and people are just going to skip through it because they have already seen all the different Canva templates. Okay, let's jump into the next campaign, which is the engagement one, and that will be in the second week. What I'm saying here is to stop 2 of the underperforming ad sets in the awareness campaign. Now that we have 1 week that has passed, you should be stopping 2 of these. You just need to see which one has been performing the best based on the results. I'm also going to talk about seeing or really understanding what it means for an ad to be performing good. Just wait a bit and we will reach that point as well. So we stop 2 of the underperforming ones and then we create 2 new ones similar to the winner. So there are many different components that you can be testing. We have audience, we have creative, we have copy, and you could be testing each one of them. Just make sure you test only one at a time. That is extremely important because if you start testing many different ones, then you won't really know what is happening and why that is happening. So we create 2 new ones similar to the winner. Then we create an engagement campaign. Let's close that up for a little bit. We create here. Actually, no, we go to the campaigns, we click on create, and here we have the engagement one. Always use the manual engagement campaign setup. And here we would have DV engagement. Here, this is pretty much the same, no A/B test, no advantage campaign budget. You click on next. And here, what we are going to do is 2 different kinds of actions. We would either have on your ad, so we would have people engage with our ad, or we would have them go to our website. For example, if we want them to react with the ad, that would mean that, let's say we have run a Q&A post about our service. Let's say we are doing interior design and we want to make sure that people fully understand the process, so we can just create a Q&A post and ask them to give us a question about the interior design process. Or the other option would be to lead people to the website. Maybe we have a very cool blog that we have about the process of interior design, and we would have them go to the blog and read it through. We can pick any of these 2, doesn't matter, but these are the ones that you will be picking in this kind of campaign. Let's say that we want to do the website one. Now the metapixel here is saying that it's required if you have, and you should have already created your pixel, so you can select it here as an option. Dynamic creative is off. Daily budget, let's say that it will be €3, a little bit more than the awareness campaign. You pick the schedule, the audience controls here. Again, it's pretty much the same as the awareness. You have the audience plus, and you can also do the specific ones. And beneficiary and payer. Here you need to add basically your business unless you are an agency. If you're an agency, then you need to put the name of the client that you're doing the ads for. And then here on placements, again, the same thing as awareness. Let's go back to our setup guide to see where we are. So we created an engagement campaign. We are going to create the different ad sets. And then we have the specific targeting, so website visitors and people who engaged with content. That is something that you can do if you have already gathered a lot of people in your custom audiences. How do you know if you have gathered a lot of people? Well, we go into the custom audiences tab. Let me just show you in a different window here. So you go to the custom audiences tab and you see the estimated audience size. If it's below 1000, then I don't really suggest using that. But if it's more than that, then you can use a custom audience. If not, then you can just continue with the wide targeting. That is not a problem, but usually what happens is that if you use wide targeting again, it will show the ads to people who have not seen your awareness campaign. Or most of the times that's what will happen. And that means that even if people have seen your first ad, you have already built some authority in front of their eyes. Now when you show them the engagement campaign, they won't really know about you, and it's like you're starting from zero, because they don't know about you. And the idea of the marketing funnel is that they need to know about you. You should have built their trust, And now they are going to be going forward with the marketing funnel. So they have seen the first ad, the second ad, and now in a bit we're going to create the third ad, which would be the leads one. So you could do specific targeting if you can. Hopefully you can. If not, go with white once again. And then you add one ad per set. It's pretty much the same setup as the awareness campaign, but let's make sure we do that. So we have the engagement ad set. This would be the audience plus, white. And then on the ad level, we have the Facebook page, Instagram account. We have the same options here. We add the media, the primary text, the headline, the descriptions. The description is not really mandatory. And the call to action to the website. If it's a blog, I would put here learn more, or maybe watch more if it's a video maybe on your website. And you put here the destination of the ad. So you put exactly the URL that you want people to be going to when they click on the ad. Browser add-ons are nice. You can put the call or the WhatsApp if you would like. If you're targeting also many different languages, you can also use this option, the language one, so you can translate your ad to reach more people in more languages. And also the tracking, so website events. Here you have the option to select the pixel that you have created, and you can just select it from the drop down. If there are no other pixels you have created, it should be automatically selected, I believe. And you also have URL parameters if you would like to do some advanced tracking, but we're going to talk about that in a different video. And we have the engagement pretty much ready. So let's go back here. We create one ad per set. I'm not going to do that because I already showed you based on the awareness campaign. And now we go to week 3, which is sales and retention and generating leads. We have to stop 2 of the underperforming ad sets in awareness and engagement campaigns, and we create 2 new ones similar to the winner. And now it's time to create our most important campaign, and that is the leads campaign. So we click on the X here, we go back to campaigns, we click on create, and we have our leads campaign. We go menu once again. The options here are the same, nothing is changing, so we just put our initials maybe, leads, and we go to the ad set. Now, what I always suggest is to start using instant forms in the beginning. Instant forms are a form on Facebook that people just fill out and they give you the details and then you can contact them. To me, especially in the beginning, that's a lot better because you'll be getting a lot more leads. You can also do website and have people go to your website and fill out the form there, but you need to make sure that your landing page is optimized and has the correct structure. So for now, we're going to start with instant forms. The Facebook page here, the performance goal is to maximize the number of leads, of course. Dynamic creative off, you set the daily budget. Here you need to have the highest budget of all the different campaigns. Then we go, the audience controls here, again, you see here, you create different ad sets based on the number of offers. This is the difference between the other kinds of campaigns and ad sets that you have done. Here, we only need to do the number of different offers. Let's say one of our offers, if we go with the solar panel business once again, one of our offers is a free quote in 24 hours. So we can use this ad set to promote that kind of offer. Then let's say we have a different kind of offer, which would be a free audit of their roof to see if solar panels are fit. Maybe we have had some kind of an offer like this before. So make sure you split all the different offers in different ad sets so you can see which offer is the one resonating the most with your ideal customers. So you create all these different ad sets based on the offer. And now, one of the most important tests that we have done is this one, the specific targeting. The only targeting that you would do would be to people who have already engaged with some of your ads, or they have seen you in any kind of way. So that would be page visitors from ads that were part of the engagement campaign. That would be people who engage with your content, or that would be people who visited the website. That way you know that the people you're targeting are only people who have engaged with you in some kind of way. They know about you and it's not the first time they're seeing you. Now, of course, if this is not working, you should always create a wide targeting as well. Maybe Meta will know the exact people even better than you who will be able to make a purchase immediately. Maybe Meta will select the exact people who might not even need to know about your business, but they will still trust you and they will buy from your service. If that's the case, perfect. Make sure to test it out, but you can start with the specific targeting first to try that strategy as well. And here you need to add one ad per ad set, but here you should prioritize static images. Usually it's working a lot better because you have a specific offer. You want people to stop, you want them to read through your text, you don't want them to be engaged that much with the video, you want them to be scroll stopped by the image and then for them to read the text that you have put on top. Alright, now let's create that in the Ads Manager. We have here the ad sets. As I said, make sure you do the Advantage Plus if it's not working, or otherwise just do the original audience option and just select the custom audiences. So we go to the new leads ad. Here is pretty much the same: Facebook page, Instagram account, the ad, single image or video, ad creative, headline. And here the difference is this one here. So the destination would be the instant form if you have chosen the instant form option in the ad set. So here you would select the form that you have created. If you have not created any kind of form, you just click on create form and you set up the form. The most important settings that you need to know about here are these ones. So the first one is to have more volume. So use a form that is quick to fill out and submit on a mobile device. Now, if you see that many people are filling your form and they're not serious people, they're time wasters, you can also use higher intent. And here on the intro, you just fill out this text here, you give more information about the ads. You can also put different questions. You have pre-filled questions which are coming from Facebook. So the email and the full name of the person that is filling out the form, that will be filled out pretty much immediately when they enter the form. And you can also add more, like the phone number if you need that. Usually you should add the phone number so you can call up the leads. You have the city, the province, country, etc. But you can also add any other questions as well. Let's say you want a short answer about the question. And this is done to make sure you qualify the leads. Because there will be people who just fill out the form without any kind of intention of buying. So by having these kind of questions here to filter out people, you're making sure you're getting only the right people and you're qualifying them. And you can also further qualify them when you call them on the phone. And that's it pretty much about the form. You need to add the privacy policy. Make sure your website has a privacy policy, because after all, you're collecting data from people. So Facebook needs to make sure it's your responsibility and it's not theirs. And also the message for the leads. This is the screen that they get after they complete the form, and you could get them to go to the website, review a file, or they can just call you if that's what you prefer. It's all based on your strategy. Then you click on create form, and then you just use that form for the campaign that you're going to be doing. And then you have the tracking here. It's pretty much the same, and that's it. So we go back to our guide, and now that we have created all of our different campaigns, the only thing that we need to do, and it's not a small thing, is to continue testing, to continue analyzing and optimizing. So I'm going to show you what exactly you need to look for once the ads are ready. So the first one is this: test, analyze, optimize. So 3 components to test. As I already mentioned before, you have the audience testing, you have the creative testing, and you have the copy testing or the offer testing. So you would either be testing the text that is on top of the ad, or you could also be testing the different kinds of offers that you have. If you use the solar panel installation business, as I said, it could be a free quote in 24 hours, or it could be something else. Make sure you do different kinds of offers, because the offers are actually sometimes what triggers people and what entices them to work with you instead of a different kind of business. As I mentioned, you need to test only one variable at a time, and also usually 1000 impressions are good enough to make a decision. So As I mentioned here, you have 3 weeks. So the first week is for the awareness, engagement, and then the leads campaign. But 1,000 impressions can also be enough. If in 5 days you manage to get 1,000 impressions on your engagement campaign, just go ahead, look at the best performing ads, stop the rest, and create 2 new ones that are similar to the winner. And then you would also have some optimization signals. These are the most common ones, but there are many other ones that you need to look at. So I'll just go over the most common ones. CTR is under the industry average. That means that people are not stopping their scroll during Facebook and Instagram, and they are not clicking on your ad in any kind of way. That means that your creative or the copy needs improvement. Then the next one would be the WOW conversion rate. It's been 1 month of you running ads and there are no leads. Well, that's a bad signal, I would say, especially if your service is something that is pretty much happening a lot. It's not a service that is extremely new to the public. If it's, let's say, interior design or solar panels, then 1 month of running a leads campaign should be enough to get at least 1 lead. So if you're not getting any kind of conversions, that means your offer is bad. Or if you're using a website to convert people, then your landing page is badly structured. And I have also added the high cost per click, but this one is related mostly to Google Ads, so I'll make sure to remove that from the guide by the time you enter it. High cost per lead. Again, there might be a problem with your ads, so you need to take a look at this, or maybe there is just too much competition in the field. And then also, as I said, no conversions after 1,000 impressions. Go back to the drawing board and check if product service is good enough. Maybe your service is not good enough, and that's why people are not converting. So that could also be a problem. Maybe it's not even an ads problem. And before we wrap this up, since a lot of people are really worried about what kind of budget to use, I'm also going to show you an example budget structure that we have here. So you can use that one for your business and for your testing, but you can also use different kinds of ones. There are many different ways to approach it, but as I said, at least the minimum that you should do is have at least $500 per month. You can use a different strategy, you can use a different targeting strategy, a different budget structure. It all depends on you. There are many different strategies. I have shown you mine. You can see it right here. We have went over all the different ones. I have also added 3 different examples here, so you can check them out. But usually this is what you should be doing, and these are the steps that are the most common ones that you should take to set up your Facebook Ads Manager. Again, if you'd like access to this guide here, so you can just check it out while you're building your Facebook ads instead of just listening to this video again and again, what you can do is just access the link down below in the description. I hope that this was useful to you. If you have any questions about any of the steps, just leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer. And happy ads creation!